Welcome to Tales by Tyrell, where history breathes and legends rise and fall. Today we step into ancient Rome to witness a betrayal that shook the world. This is the story of Julius Caesar. In the heart of ancient Rome, the people celebrated the return of a hero, Julius Caesar. A brilliant general, a fearless conqueror, had come back not just with victories, but with the love of a nation. He walked the streets like a god among men. Flowers were thrown at his feet. Cheers rang through the city. To the common people, Caesar was hope. But behind the cheers, eyes watched with caution. Powerful men in the Senate felt his rise. They feared that this man, so loved by the masses, would one day crown himself king. Rome, they believed, must remain a republic, ruled by many, not one. Among these men stood Brutus, quiet, noble, and deeply respected. Brutus was not just another senator. He was Caesar's dear friend. They had fought battles together, shared dreams of Rome's greatness. Yet, Brutus held one belief above all else, that Rome must come before friendship. Cassius, a clever and cunning senator, saw Brutus' conflict. With careful words, he fed the fire of doubt. He spoke not in anger, but in concern. Do you not see what Caesar becomes? Do you not see the crown already forming above his head? And slowly, Brutus began to wonder. What if Caesar's ambition truly did threaten the freedom of Rome? A plan was formed. In secret, a group of senators, including Brutus and Cassius, made a decision. They would kill Caesar. Not in hatred, but in the belief that they were saving the Republic. The morning of March 15th arrived, the Ides of March. The Caesar's wife, Calpurnia, had dreamed of blood and omens. She begged Caesar not to go to the Senate that day. But Caesar, proud and certain, brushed aside her fears. He believed that fate could not be avoided. And so, dressed in his red robe, he walked out the door, never to return. At the Senate, Caesar was surrounded by familiar faces, men he trusted, men he had raised in power. They came close and then they struck. One after another, they stabbed him, and among them was Brutus. As the final blade pierced his body, Caesar turned. He saw Brutus, the man he loved like a son. His voice broke. Et tu, Brute? Even you, Brutus? And then he fell. The greatest man in Rome, brought down not by enemies, but by friends. The news of Caesar's death spread like wildfire. The people were silent, shocked, confused, and grieving. The senators declared that Rome was free again. But freedom came with a heavy price. Then came Mark Antony, Caesar's loyal companion. He stood before the people at Caesar's funeral. His heart was broken, but his voice was calm. He spoke not to accuse, but to remind. You all loved Caesar once, he said. He refused the crown. He cried for the poor. He left his wealth to you in his will. And as the people listened, their sorrow turned to rage. Rome erupted. Riots broke out. Chaos filled the streets. The conspirators fled. But guilt does not run, it follows. Brutus, once a hero in the eyes of people, became a hunted man. War followed. In the end, he stood on a battlefield surrounded by the consequences of his choices. And there, consumed by grief and regret, he took his own life. Mark Antony found his body and spoke with honesty. This was the noblest Roman of them all, he said. Brutus had not killed Caesar for power or jealousy. He did it for what he believed was right, even if it shattered his soul. And so the story of Julius Caesar came to an end. He lived as a hero, he died as a warning. His name never faded, not because he ruled Rome, but because he showed the world how fragile power is and how dangerous loyalty can become when twisted by fear. Thank you for watching Tales by Tyrell. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.